As part of the present administration's efforts to curtail the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 ravaging the country and the world at large, Edo State Ministry of Education, in collaboration with Edo Broadcasting Service (EBS) and Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools (Asuss), is organizing a television program for students in senior secondary schools, particularly those writing the West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WASSCE), the National Examination Council (NECO), and National Business and Technical Examination Board (NABTEB) for the year 2020 in the months of May, June, and July. The program will be held on EBS television channel every day from 12 noon to 1 p.m. beginning from Monday, April 6, 2020. The subjects selected for these programs are Mondays Mathematics, Tuesdays English Language, Wednesdays Physics, Thursdays Biology, Fridays Geography, Saturdays Civic Education and Economics, and Sunday Chemistry. Parents and guardians are therefore advised to draw the attention of their children or wards to this opportunity during the stay-at-home period.
Good day, students, good day, viewers. I am Asuss or Joy Oshuamegbe. Today I'll be taking you English language. Now you can remember that last week I talked about continuous writing. I told us that we have 4 aspects of continuous writing. I told us about essay writing, I told us about letter writing, article writing, as well as speech writing. And we went into essay writing last week. Now I told us what an essay is all about. An essay has to do with a piece of writing, putting ideas together that relates to a particular topic or a subject matter. Then I went further to tell you the parts of an essay. I told us that we have introduction, the body, as well as conclusion. Also, I remember that I told us about the types of essays that we have narrative essay, we have descriptive essay, expository essay, as well as argumentative essay. And I gave us hints what we should put into mind when we want to write an essay to have a good essay. I told us that you have to be mindful of your points. Now, first of all, maybe you are asked to write about a particular topic and your mind seems to be blank, don't know where to start from. That all you need to do is just go to the back of your answer sheet and try to bring out points just the way they come, put them down. Then, having gotten your points, you can start developing these points into topic sentences. Then when you are done with that, you go over to develop these topic sentences into paragraphs. Then you have to paragraph your work logically. One idea should be in a paragraph. Don't put 2 ideas in a paragraph. A paragraph should be a point should contain 1 paragraph, just like that. Then I told us you have to be mindful of your punctuation marks, and I gave us examples of punctuation marks. We have our commas, we have our inverted commas, we have our full stop, and so on. And also I told us a very important aspect of essay writing, which has to do with capital letters. When to use capital letters, how to use capital letters. And I told us that for you to use your capital letter, you should make sure that the first word, the first letter in a sentence is written with the capital letter. The teacher came late to class. The T, the starting the sentence, should be written with a capital letter. And I told us that you use capital letters when you are writing names of villages, of towns. You use capital letters when you are talking about names of establishments, companies, government parastatals, even head of departments. You use capital letters, and you should be mindful how you use them. And then last week also, we went through a short passage on how to apply these, what we've learned, into how we can put them into practice. And you know English is all about practice. And also today, last week we didn't take example. Today I'll start with an example of essay writing before we go over to what we have today. Now I have on the board example of essay writing. Now sometimes you are faced with a question. They won't tell you write a descriptive essay. They won't tell you write an argumentative essay or an expository essay. No, they'll just give you a question. It's you that will determine, or you try and locate what kind of essay is this. Is it a descriptive essay? Is it an argumentative essay or what? And look at this question on the board. An organization is putting together entries for essay competition for secondary school students on the topic, the teacher I admire most. Write your entry. Write your entry. Now, I try to put my own down. I have the teacher I admire most as my heading. Then, this is just an introduction. Let me read it to our hearing. I have seen and known a lot of people ever since I was a child. Some of them are relatives, while others are friends. The teacher I admire most that has made me to desire to be a teacher in future is Mrs. Ogbe, Betty. I admire her because of her physical appearance, honesty, intelligence, diligence, and her generosity. Now, that's my introduction. And remember that part of an essay, as part of an essay, we have introduction, we have the body, we have the conclusion. Now, we want to write the body. And do you know that from your introduction, you can equally get your body. It's no longer a problem. Now you look at it. Where will I start from? How will I develop my essay? How can I get 450 words or 500 words? Now, these virtues or attributes I've listed down about Mrs. Ogbe can help me develop my essay little by little. Now, I can talk about her physical appearance. That will automatically form another point or a paragraph. Now I can talk about her honesty. I can go further. If I know her very well, I can talk about her biography. That also will form a paragraph. I can talk about her intelligence. That also will form another paragraph. So when you look at my introduction, automatically I have one paragraph, 2, 3, 4, and even 5 paragraphs. And when I now arrange them down logically, automatically I've gotten the body of my essay. Now, that will take us to the last part, which is the conclusion. I told us an essay has introduction, it has a body, and it has a conclusion. And I have this as my conclusion. To conclude, I have not seen any teacher that can run Mrs. Ogbe or that is equal to her in virtue. Based on this, she will remain the most admirable person to me. And that's the end of my essay. So I believe you can try yours at home. Look for something to write about. Just read, as I told you earlier, a good writer or a good reader will be a good writer. And when you learn to read about anything around you, you'll be able to write even a textbook. So that will bring us to what we have today, which has to do with letter writing. Right? Today, we'll be looking at letter writing, an aspect of continuous writing. Letter writing. Have you ever written a letter? Or have you ever received a letter? Alright. What is letter writing all about? Letter writing is a message in written form from one person as a writer to another person or another company that is a receiver. That's what letter is all about. Now that will take us to types of letters. We have formal letter, we have informal letter, we have semi-formal letter. I believe we are quite aware, we know the types of letters. Now we start by looking at formal letter. The formal letter. What is it all about? Like the word implies, formal letter. Formal letter is a business letter. A formal letter is an official letter that one you can write to a company, to an establishment about an issue. Maybe you have a complaint, you are applying for a position, you are making a request. It's all about formal. Now, a formal letter has components. There are some things you should have in mind when you want to write a formal letter. First of all, we have the writer's address and date. You as the writer, your address will be there at the right-hand corner of your sheet. Then we'll now write our dates. I'm going to give us an example, so I just want to run through, then we'll now break down on how a formal letter ought to look like. After that, we have the address of the recipient. The recipient could be the company you are writing to. The recipient could be maybe the manager you are writing to. Whosoever is going to receive your letter is the recipient, and you have to write down the person's address. Then after that, you go over to salutation. Now, one thing about formal letter, even if the manager is not feeling fine, you don't have to ask him, "How are you, sir?" No. Just say, "Dear sir," or "Dear madam." Their names are not important. Just "Dear sir," "Dear," or "Dear madam." Then after that, you go over to the heading or title. Before you picked up your pen to write, you have a goal. What was your motive of writing? Or what do you have in mind? Why do you want to write? So that one will form your heading or the title of your letter. Now will take us to the body of the letter. The body just simply implies your message, the contents, what you want to tell the person to come under the body of your letter. Then we have the subscription or the conclusion. You want to conclude your letter. How does it look like? I'll show you. Then we have when you are done with your subscription, you have your signature before your name. There's a space you have to, even if you are typing your letter, you leave a space for your signature where you have to sign. Then you have your name. Then I'll quickly add this to your name, your phone number, because now we are in a digital age, and sometimes they may want your phone number. So after your name, you can also write your phone number in case they want to contact you or ask you to come for an interview. Then whatever letter you want to write, whether it's formal, informal, semi-formal, they all have parts. Now that will take us to parts of an essay. Any essay, letter, any part of letter, it has what? All letters, they have what? Introduction, they have body, they have what? Conclusion. Now there are some facts you need to know when we want to write a formal letter. Your tone. You don't have to crack any joke. Just be precise as much as possible. Don't beat around the bush, because sometimes they might not even have the patience to go through all you want to go through. That's why, of recent, if somebody is applying for a job, they will tell you the position you are applying for, write it at your right hand or left hand corner of your envelope. Because maybe you have a lot of persons that have decided to apply, they won't go through the pain of going through your letter word by word or word for word. Just be precise as much as possible. Your language should be formal. Your language should be precise. No joke. You don't have to make any joke, use any idiom, use any proverbs. No, just be precise as much as possible. And also, I told us even in essay writing that you don't have to use abbreviation. That will also applies here. Don't use abbreviation. Write your words in full. I'll give us an example of what to do. Then also, the chief of them all is that you have to mind your punctuation marks as well as your capital letters. Punctuation mark is still there. So you see that there is no any writing under the face of the head has to be punctuation mark has to be included. That is, you don't have it cannot be on the mind. It's part of what? The ingredients for you to have a good essay or to have a good letter. So be mindful of your punctuation marks, your question marks, your full stop, your comma, your inverted commas, your brackets. Be mindful of them. And when and how to use your capital letter, I told us now. I have an example of a formal letter. This is an application letter written to the general manager of Edo Broadcasting Service. Now, put on a letter. I'll start from my address. Remember, be at the right hand corner of your sheet. You have 3 key streets. You have your comma off Lagos Road, comma Benin City, your full stop. Then you have your date, 17th April 2020. Then your full stop. Look at something. I didn't write it like this. My TH is not hanging, and yours should not hang. So it should be in the same level with your other letters. So I have 17th April 2020. So I take it off. So don't write like this. Make sure you write like this. And also, in writing your letter, you can use the block style or you can use the slant style. That's why we have 2 addresses here. Either you use it, you write it straight like this, or you can slant your address. Whatever style you want is up to you. You are still correct. Now I have the address of the recipient or the person or where my letter is going to. We have the General Manager, Edo Broadcasting Service, Benin City. Now I have dear sir, I have madam. Which one am I going to use? It's up to you. Now you don't have to ask, is it a man that is there or is it a woman? But to be on the safe side, you can just write like this. Dear sir, stroke man, or dear sir, stroke madam, and do away with your order. Then after that, you have your comma. Alright. Then the next component you want to look at is your heading. Remember, it's a formal letter. You have a reason of writing. So that will take us to the application for the position of a supervisor. That is your the heading or the title of your letter. Then you see that I have 2 headings here. One written with small letter and the other one written with capital letters. Now, you can use either of them. If you decide to use a small letter, you should make sure that you underline. That's what I've done. Or if you want to use your capital letter like this, don't underline. Leave it like that. So either of them will be acceptable. Now, that will take me to my introduction. I told us that every writing has an introduction, has a body, has a conclusion. Then this is the introduction. It said, with reference to your advertisement in the Nigerian Observer of 1st April 2020 for applicants to fill the vacant post of a supervisor in your establishment, I hereby apply to be considered for the position. That's my introduction. Now I went further to say, talk about myself. I am 20 years old and a native of Benin. I completed my secondary school education in 2019 when I sat for the West African School Certificate Examination, from which I obtained 6 distinctions and 2 credit passes. And go further to tell them if I have working experience somewhere, maybe I helped my mother when I was young, so that will to supervise her business, at least that will give me an experience. So I can say I have experience in whatever. You can also come in here. Then I have sir. I believe I can discharge my official duties to the best of my ability if my application is considered. You can see other things that you think are needful, but I try to enclose here. I said enclose are photocopies of my credentials. Sometimes it could be your CV. If they ask you if you have any, you can put them there. Then you can close by saying, I thank you, sir, in anticipation of your positive response. Then this is about the body. Now that one will take us to our closing subscription or conclusion. You have yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. If you look at it very well, your yours does not have apostrophe before or after S. It's just yours faithfully. And look at your faithfully. Can you yours sincerely or yours faithfully? Remember, it's official. So you don't have to use words like yours affectionately. No. Yours sincerely or yours faithfully. Then and your faithfully, the first letter should be written in small letter. Yours faithfully. Then you have your comma. Then I told us earlier on that you should leave a space for you to sign. You sign after writing yours faithfully or just sincerely. You leave a space and sign. After signing, you now write your name in full. Your name and your surname. You can put it there. And I told us that you can also add your phone number. There is need for them to contact you. Write or add your phone number as part of your closing formality. So you see that with all the parts or the components of the formal letter, we have them already displayed in our example, where you have your address, the address of your recipient, you have the salutation, you have your heading, you have the body of your letter, you have the closing formality, you have your signature, as well as your name, then your phone number. Now that will take us to the other aspect of letter writing, which has to do with informality. Now the other aspect we want to look at is informal letter. We are done with formal letter. We want to look at informal letter. Informal letter, as the word implies, informal. Letter we write to people that we know, friends, acquaintances, classmates, people that are close to us. This kind of letter we write to them. I remember another thing about informal letter is a friendly letter. Can crack joke inside, can do a lot of things inside. Now, an informal letter has components or has parts. You have the address and date of the writer, that is you. You also have the opening courtesy, how you start your letter. You have the body, your content, your message. Then you have the closing courtesy, where you want to end your letter. Then you have your name. You see that I didn't add your signature. It's not necessary. All right. Now, you want to see some facts you need to note when writing an informal letter. Things we need to put into cognizance when you want to write an informal letter. I have here freedom. Freedom. Freedom to use whatever style you want to use. Freedom to use idioms. Freedom to use proverbs. Freedom to use slangs. Remember, you are writing to somebody that you know, your friend, somebody that might be your classmate. So you are free to use idioms, proverbs, or slangs. Now, you have to write your words in full. Remember, even in continuous writing, I told us the need to always write your words in full. Avoid the use of abbreviation. Write your words in full. Now we have what? You can use your pet names. You can call somebody Azubi. You can call somebody darling, my sweetheart. You are free to use those words. Now, you can use loan words, borrowed words, and put them in inverted commas. You can use words like, those are your boss came to my party. You can put them in. So the person that you are writing to will know what you are talking about. You can use words like, do you know that Egungun likes my photo? What you are talking about somebody. So as you are writing about them, you put them in inverted comma. And also, you can use exaggerations, like she has a nose that could have belonged to 4 women. You are describing somebody. You are writing a letter to somebody. You are talking about somebody. So you are free to use some exaggerated words. Then we have punctuation marks and capital letter that are still coming into play. So I told us initially that there is no writing that can undermine the use of punctuation marks as well as capital letter. So you still have those rules still apply to informal letter. Now, after maybe in your writing you have a question there. At the end of that question, you don't need to add your full stop. Since your question mark has a dot, like something like this, were you in my house? Were you in my house? You don't have to write After I'm through the sentence, now put the no. There is a dot already. Were you in my house? Your question mark. That's okay. Then now I want to tell us that going through all the parts we talked about before, it will now bring us to how we can start our informal letter, how we can start our address, our dates, and so on. So let me all see examples. That's about punctuation mark. Now, another rule is that after question mark, do not add your full stop. Like a sentence like this. Where is your house? Look at my question mark. It's wrong for you to still add your full stop because your question mark already has a dot. Where is your house? Once you're asking the question, you put on your question mark there. So now we want to see how we can apply these rules in our letter. Okay, now we have two addresses here. This is the first one. This is my second one. When you look at it closely, one is written like a block. You can see my room. Look at the other one. This one is not straight. If you decide to use any of them, you are right. This is simply a block style, and this is also a slant style. And now it is slant. Okay, I put my root just now. This one, we were all the letters, they were on a particular line. While this one, they are not on the particular line. You see, and almost after where I have 3, the other one continue. Where I have the first letter, the other one continue just like that. So you have slant. That's why we call it slant style. Now, I wrote my date like this. Look at. And you know that you can write your own like this too. You can decide to write your date like this. You are still correct. So there is no hard and fast from that you must use this particular style or use. You are free to use any style. Either you use it even in formal letter or you can also use it in informal letter. So you can write your address like this. Now we want to start our letter. I told us there as part of an informal letter you have address and date of the writer, of you that is writing the letter. Now look at the board. I have 2 addresses. 3 Keep Street off New Lagos Road, Benin City, 17th April 2020. Now look at the way I wrote the first one. Look at the way I wrote the second one. I call this a block style. I call this a slant style. Either any of them decide to use, you are right. You can do it like this, straight, or you can slant it. So either of them is correct. Now I have what? Another thing about it is that apart from this of writing your date like this, you can also write your date like this. You can write your date like this in informal letter. You can write your date like this. But when you're talking about formal letter, please don't write your date like this. Be formal as much as possible so that they will give you the job you want. Now, that will take us to, remember we are still dealing with informal letter. We want to start, we have what? Our opening courtesy. Here we have Dear Ade, can be Dear Mom, can be Dear Dad, Uncle Ade, or Auntie Kiki, whatever style you want, you are free. Then after that, you use your comma. Now, when you look at your address now, you see that, sorry for taking me back, look at your punctuation. You have to be mindful of it too. You can see your punctuation marks. So don't say I've written my address. Did you punctuate your work very well? That is another thing you should be mindful of. You have your number, the number of the house, after which you have your comma, you have the name of the streets, the comma, you have what, if it's off or if it's not off the road, have your comma at the end, then you have your Benin city, if you are writing within Benin. For instance, they ask you a question to write a letter to your friend in another state. Instead of having full stop here, there will be a continuation like this. After your Benin city, you have your comma here, then you have your Edostate. You put your words full stop. Then your date. Okay. Then you have what your opening formality. Dear Uncle Ade, dear Uncle Femi, you are free to use whatever you want to use. Then after that you have your body. You don't need an heading there because it's not a formal letter. Go straight to the point. You can discuss and ask about his or her welfare. Remember in informal letter, we don't ask, how are you, sir? Even if the man received the letter was dying at a particular time, it's not your business. But in informal letter, you show what? Affection. You express yourself. How are you doing? Last time I saw you, you're really down. Are you okay now? You ask about their welfare. That will make up your body. Then after that, you have what? Your closing formality. Your closing formality can have words like your love, Rita. Or you can write your babe, your baby, your sweetheart, yours affectionately. You have yours. You can have yours affectionately. And do you know that sometimes you can even use yours sincerely? You're also free. You can use yours effort. And do you know that your yours do not carry or does not carry any apostrophe? So yours should be your yours. No apostrophe before or after S. Please take note of that. Then you have what? Other formalities. Then you have your name. Only your first name is important or needful. You don't need your surname because definitely you are writing to your mate, you are writing to your friend. So your first name is okay. You don't have to sign, you don't have to put your phone number. Those are not necessary in informal letter. Now, I believe we have gotten everything we need to know about formal and informal letter. The only difference between them is just semi-formal letter, where you just write to people that you're not familiar with, and maybe it's not also an official letter. Maybe like your principal, you want to write to your pastor, just people that you add some respect, you add some formality to it. But it's not like the way you write your formal or informal letter. Now, before I give a summary of what I'll be talking about, I want you to put this into mind that when you are writing, please be mindful of where you put your punctuation. It's very, very important. Take good care of it. Check them very well. Make sure your work is quite or well punctuated from the beginning even to the ending. Now, be mindful of how you write your yours, either in formal letter or informal letter. Avoid the use of apostrophe. This yours does not take apostrophe. It's written like that. Put your comma, put your word full stop when you are writing your formal or informal letter. Please be mindful of all this. They are very, very important. Now, I have an assignment for us. And with the board I have, write a letter to your friend outside the state, telling him or her about the educational program organized for senior secondary school students in your state. I want you to try and apply the rules I've given to you, maybe formal letter. You can even try that of informal letter. Then when you are done, submit it to my WhatsApp number on the screen so that I can help in assessing how far you understood the topic. So till next, or till when next we meet, stay safe and stay blessed.